Hello guys, welcome back. If you're new, you're welcome to my channel. Hope you all are doing well. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this beautiful dress right here without using a pattern. So with that said, I'm going to go right into the video and show you guys what you will need for this in order to make this dress. Okay, I have all my stuff laid out. So right here I have the main fabric, I have a lining and a silk fabric for the design. Also I have a dress right there. I'm going to be using that to trace out the shape I want for the dress. I have a scissors, a zipper, tape measurement, and so to start right now, I'm going ahead and measure out how wide I want the bottom of the dress to be. So right now I'm going ahead to fold the chiffon fabric over. So I'm going to be cutting the front of the dress first, and then I'm going to use the front of the dress to trace out the back of the dress. So for the front of the dress, I'm cutting it on folds. So also doing the same thing, I'm going in to fold the dress I'm using for the tracing on fold, since we're also going to be cutting the main dress on fold. So I'm going ahead and fold it over to make sure the line is straight. So right now I place the tracing dress onto the fabric, and next I'm going to go ahead and pin it down to make sure that stays in place while I'm cutting cutting out the dress. So right now I'm just going ahead with a couple of pins, just going to pin down the armhole, the shoulder, and the waist of the dress. So next, going in with my scissors, I'm gonna start by making a straight line, starting from the shoulder down to the armhole. Hold on, just cutting a straight line down to the armhole. So from the armhole, I'm gonna make a curve inwards down to the waistline, and then an outward cut down to the bottom of the dress.
Much noise around, so much noise around, constantly fighting for space. I need to clear my mind, need to clear my mind.
So next I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the shape of the armhole. So next I'm going ahead to mark the neckline. So mark it right there and also on the shoulder too. Just mark it. So after marking the line, I'm going to go ahead with the scissors and cut it out. Remove the pin. Move the dress out of the way. Okay, so right now I'm going ahead to cut out the neckline.
How am I supposed to see if I am in darkness?
So before going in to cut out the back of the dress, right now I'm going ahead to place the front of the dress on my body to check the armhole and also the length of the dress to see if everything is correct. So yep, everything is looking good. The armhole, the length of the dress, it's just the way I want it. So next I'm gonna go ahead and fold the front of the dress over, and I'm gonna use that to trace out the back of the dress. So I've already went ahead and fold over the front of the dress and then place it onto the fabric, and next I went ahead and pin the front of the dress to the fabric. So right now I'm going ahead to trace out the armhole of the back. So this is just like a basic cut right now. The main adjustment I'm gonna do it after. So right now I'm just going ahead to trace out the back, and also for the center opening of the dress, I went ahead and add 1 inch seam allowance to the back, so that will be the same allowance for the zipper. So for the back piece, I'm going to be cutting out 2 pieces for the back. So that's the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the second one off camera. Okay, now that that is done, the next step now is to cut out the neckline of the back.
In darkness, constantly restless, worry. I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. I got a gun to my head, a gun to my head. I wanna be empty, be.
Okay, now that that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and move that out of the way and work on the front piece. So to cut out the front neck design for the dress, I'm going ahead to mark the length of how low I want the front to be. And next, I'm going to go ahead and connect that line to the shoulder. So right here, going in with a ruler, you want to use the straight side of the ruler and connect the line to the shoulder length. So starting from the low cut, you want to make a straight line going upward to the shoulder. So this marker I'm using right here is not really showing on the fabric. So I'm going to switch to a different marker that is lighter than the fabric I'm using. So you want to make sure that the fabric marker you're using is lighter than the fabric you're working with. So that way when you're done making your line, you're going to see the line clearly. So, and also while you're cutting out the whatever the design, the neck design, you want to make sure to include a seam allowance to the measurements. So doing the same thing, I'm going to be using the ruler as a guide to make a straight line on the bottom of the armhole, and then I'm using the same ruler. I'm going to make an angle line coming down to the line I just made on the bottom, connected both lines together. And next, I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and cut out the shape of the armhole. So I'm doing this with both pieces pinned together, and also like I said earlier, you want to make sure to add a seam allowance to the measurement. So next I'm going ahead to add a notch for the side dot. So you can see right there, that will be for the side dot.
A spark who lights a fire. I'm high, I'm a butterfly, a blooming flower, but I am.
So now that the front part is done, so right now I'm going ahead to correct the back armhole to make sure I have everything correctly. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and pin the back of the dress, and pin the front of the dress to the back of the dress. So after pinning the dress together, I went ahead and placed it back on just to check if everything is going smoothly, if I need to do any adjustments. And yes, I need to adjust the dress. It's a bit too big and the shoulder is a bit too wide for what I want. So I'm going to take it off and adjust it. So remember when I cut the back of the dress, I added 1 inch for the zipper seam allowance. I went ahead and removed the 1 inch seam allowance, and also right here I'm going ahead to adjust the neckline, and also for the shoulder I said it was a bit too big, a bit too wide, so right now I'm just going ahead to adjust it. And for the back of the dress I want more curve, so that's exactly what I'm doing right here. It's just cutting out the curve, and also I'm going to go ahead and correct the armhole a little bit. So since I won't be adding any dots to the center of the dress, I'm going ahead to reduce a little bit from the side of the dress, so that we have to stitch in the waist without adding any dots to the dress. Okay, that's it, all done. So right now I'm just placing the front of the dress back onto the back to make sure everything lines up correctly, and also on the shoulder, making sure I have the same shoulder measurement for the front and the back.
There's a better place for me. Better place for me.
Okay, moving on to the next step, I'm going to go ahead and cut at the front opening. So to do that right here, I'm going to start by making a line on the waistline. I'm just going to mark the waistline, and then I'm going to connect that line down to the center of the dress. So I thought my camera was recording the whole time, but fortunately the camera stopped recording, but I just cut it all the way from the waist down to the center line. And next I went ahead and pinned the fabric together. So next right here, I'm going ahead to add a notch to where I want the side seam to stop. Right there. After that, I'm going ahead to remove the pins and place the fabric back together again. Just put it together and do whatever adjustments I need. So for the center opening, you want to make sure to measure out where you want your side seam to end and where you want the split to begin. So that's exactly what I did. So that's where I placed the notch right there. So next I'm going to go ahead and correct the line to make sure the line is straight. And then I'm going to cut all the way from the bottom, from the center bottom to where I placed it, like half an inch close to where I placed the notch. So next I went ahead and measured the length of the cutout, and next I went ahead and cut out the silk fabric in half 1 inch wide and fold it over and press it to make sure to have like a fold over press fabric for the design. So next right now I'm going ahead to work on the bust area. So I'm going to be making a tube to cover up the bust area. So if you want to go ahead and figure out like how deep do you like, how much coverage do you want for the bust area, and you want to measure out the length and how wide your measurement is. So for me, for the top part of the bust area, mine was 8 inches, so I make it 9 inches plus seam allowance 9 inches. So on the bottom part I measure 2 inches plus seam allowance, that gives me 3 inches. So I add extra 1 inch to my measurement. So the length of the breast tube is 5 inches plus seam allowance. I make it 6 inches. So next I'm going ahead to flip over just fold over the front part of the dress, and I'm going to go ahead and place a notch on where I want the bottom of the tube to be. Just measure that and place a notch right there. So from that notch right there, I'm going to measure from there 5 inches and then place a notch right there. So this part, by placing a notch right there, when it's time to put the garment together, it will be easy to know where to add the tube, the top part and the bottom part. That would give you an idea where to place it. So just put a notch right there and open up the dress. So next I'm going to go ahead and cut out the lining for the tube off camera. So now that that is done, I'm going to go ahead and take the press fabric I'm using for the design. I'm going to place it down and take the lining and place it on top, making sure the right side of the fabric are facing. So next I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and do a straight stitch on the on the top of the tube and also on the bottom of the tube, leaving the both sides of the tube open. So this is the end of this tutorial. So on the next part, I'm going to be showing you guys how I sew the dress together, how I add the lining, the zipper, and everything you need to know on how to put the dress together. So if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. If you already subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.